Hey there, thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in San Antonio, Texas. And if you follow me at all on Instagram or even Facebook, you have seen that I have been creating cards like crazy using the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. This is a Sale-a-bration item. If you're not familiar with Sale-a-bration, twice a year Stampin' Up has this promotion, and in the brochure, the Sale-a-bration brochure, here's the brochure here, there are free items that you can choose with every qualifying order. And for a 50, here's the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. This is free with any $50 order, and then there are a few items that you can choose for every $100 order. And you can order from anything that is current. So anything from the 2021-2022 annual catalog, the January to June 2022 mini catalog, or anything that's online, like anything from the clearance rack or the kits that are online only. Anything that you order can qualify for a free Sale-a-bration item. Now, these items in this mini catalog, this Sale-a-bration catalog, are only available to earn as free items. You cannot purchase them, so which makes me a little bit sad because I love this paper and I would love to be able to purchase more, but you can only earn it for free with a $50 order. And like I said, I've been making a ton of cards with this Designer Series paper, so if you stay to the end of the video, I will share all of those cards that I have been making. Well, not all of them. Some of them I have mailed, but most of the cards that I have been making with this paper, and you can see that I've chopped this pack quite a bit. And I actually earned 2 free packs, and I wanted to mention that because just like everything else that's going on in the world these days, the supply chain problems are affecting Stampin' Up just like everybody else. And these products are, although they are supposed to be available through the end of February 2022, there is the possibility that they will sell out sooner and they will not be replaced. These are while supplies last, and so you need to get them while you can. And like I said, I just love this paper, so I highly recommend that if you're going to place an order, you do it as soon as possible so you can get this amazing paper. Now, one of the things that I really like about this paper is that it coordinates. Here, let me bring this back in. It coordinates with the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, and that bundle is found in the January to June 2022 mini catalog, and you can see it here. It has a photopolymer stamp set and a set of coordinating dies, and these dies work with this Designer Series paper. I'm not going to actually show how that works, but there is a piece in here. This piece right here is can be cut out with the. Let me bring this in. It can be cut out with the die. We're going to use this die today, this large die, but this die right here cuts out this Designer Series paper right here. So they coordinate perfectly together, and this is one of my favorite bundles from the mini catalog. I'm going to set that aside too. Another thing that coordinates with the Designer Series paper, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in, is the Cloud Punch. Here is the new Cloud Punch, and this coordinates perfectly. This is a piece of paper from the Designer Series paper, and you can see that it lines up perfectly with the punch. You line it up and punch it out, and then you have some clouds. So that is another reason why I really like this Designer Series paper. I'm going to put this aside, and you know what? We'll save this cloud for a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside too. And like I said, I used this large die, and what I did is I took several different patterns from this Designer Series paper, and I cut out, let me try to grab them in here, I cut out a bunch of the different rays from the paper. Look at all these fun patterns. So I'm not going to be using these actually. I'm going to save these for future cards, but I'm going to pull in the ones I'm going to use. What did I do with them? Here they are. Trying to be organized. So here I have some more clouds. But what I wanted to share with you is, I need to grab a card base. I have a thick basic white card base. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded in half at 4 1/4. If you are in a different market, you will just use the dimensions that work with your cardstock. I'm going to slide these off. And what I wanted to share with you is I have saved in my stamp case a template. So I cut out all these strips of the Designer Series paper using this die, but I also have a piece of our basic white cardstock that I cut out the same die with it, and I'm going to keep this as a template in my case so I can use it over and over again and be able to line up my rainbows exactly as intended. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this template on the side of my card. I'm going to hold it there. I should have brought some Post-it note. Let me see. I don't think I have any over here. Oh, here's a little bit of washi tape. You know what? I'm going to use this. I'm going to stick that there and stick that there. Whoops. Just so it kind of stays on my card the way I want it. I have it lined up. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these strips that I've cut out of the Designer Series paper, these colorful paper, and I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the back. You don't need much. It's very strong glue. And let's see, which I should have realized which one this was. I think it fits in here. So I'm going to slide it in like a puzzle into the template that I have temporarily placed on my card base. And I'm going to rub that a little bit and get it to adhere down. And I'm going to do that for all of these pieces of the rainbow. Again, you just need a little bit of glue. You don't need a whole lot. And again, I'm going to stick it in. Oops. You want to lay it nice and flat into those grooves of the template so that when I remove the template, all of the pieces will be exactly where they should be. Stick that in there. Line it up right in the channel there. Okay, last one. Stick this in here. Press it down so the glue can adhere to that. Then I can remove these pieces of washi tape. And now I can remove my template. And when I do, what you'll see is all of those rays are lined up exactly where they should be. And you can use this technique with any kind of die that you have. It would work with a smaller rainbow. This technique would be great if you have word dies that have the little dot for the eye. I never get that placed exactly right, but you can, if you have saved the negative or the template for the word, then you can place that dot exactly where it needs to be. Or if you have letters that are separate, sometimes word dies have like the first letter separate. You can use this technique with any kind of die that you want, where you want precise placement of individual pieces that are in a die. Okay, so now that I have my rainbow on there, I have these clouds that I've punched out of the Designer Series paper, and I am just going to glue those down to the bottom of my rainbow. So this just adds more pattern, more fun. I'm going to glue that one down there. And I'm going to glue this one here. Let's see, we'll move that up like, up or down. I want to cover the bottom of the rays, so I think that looks good. Stick that down. You could have popped these up using dimensionals if you'd like. That's perfectly okay. And the last thing that I'm going to do is add a sentiment from the stamp set, the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set, that says, "You make this world a better place." So I'm going to use Bermuda Bay because that's one of the colors in the papers that I chose. So I'll ink this up. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and open my card, so I'm only going through one layer. And if you notice, I always have my deluxe foam mat. That is the mat that goes with the Stamparatus whenever I use photopolymer stamps, because it has the foam backing, because the photopolymer stamps do not have a foam backing. So I'm going to stick that, lay that down flat. Go ahead and ink this up again, and because it's photopolymer, I can see exactly where it's going to stamp. Hope that's somewhat straight. And there you you go. And there is the finished card. Isn't that cute? I love the multiple colors and the multiple patterns, and especially with those clouds and the cloud punch. I just think this paper is amazing. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you some of the other cards that I have made with this designer series paper. I've also had coordinating envelopes. So let me see, here's the first one. Oops. Here's the first one where again I used the cloud punch and then some of the designer series paper, and these clouds are also from the same set of dies that the rainbow came from, and then I used the same designer series paper to have a matching coordinating envelope. So that's one. Here's another one, and I used the same technique that I just used to line up these rays. These were actually cut out of the designer series paper, and then I used the template to align these up so they were all spaced exactly the same. Again, I have a bunch of the small clouds from the same set of dies, and then I have another piece of the designer series paper that I cut out using the, are these, let's see, I think these are from the scalloped contours dies, and then again I have that little sentiment, and I have the coordinating envelope for that one as well. Then here's another one where I just love this colorful part of the designer series paper, and then this thank you sentiment die set is from the Amazing Silhouettes bundle. And then hopefully, I don't know if you can see, I added some basic rhinestone jewels just to give a little bit of sparkle in some of those sunshines. And then of course I have a decorated envelope for that one as well. And then here I have another piece of the fun rainbow designer series paper. This is a pool party cardstock that I've cut using the scallop contours dies, and I embossed it with the splatters 3D embossing folder, and then I have the thank you using the playful alphabet dies, and then for a little bit of embellishment I have the classic matte dots that are on there. So that's another fun card that it has a coordinating envelope for. And then these 4 cards are very similar to what we did today. And what I did, hopefully I can lay these out so you can see them. They're all using the same 4 patterns of the rainbow, and then I just alternated where they went in the template order. And then again I used the cloud punch, and then all of these sentiments are from the Special Moments stamp set, which is another Sale-a-bration free item that is free with a $100 order. And then at the bottom of each of these cards I have another little cloud, a stitched cloud layer that's been popped up, and this is from the Basic Borders dies. And then my absolute favorite embellishment from the mini catalog, the January to June 2022 mini catalog, are these iridescent rhinestone jewels. Aren't they pretty? I just love those. So I added those on all 4 of those cards. So that's another one. And then here, that same paper that I showed in a previous card. And this one again uses those iridescent rhinestone jewels. But I have this on a Misty Moonlight paper, and you can see this little bit of detail poking out the little hearts. That's also from the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. And this big congratulations is once again from that Special Moments stamp set that's part of Sale-a-bration. And then of course there is the coordinating die. And I think I wanted to show the inside of this. I carried the designer series paper onto the inside. So I like that one as well. And then here's another one that has the fun sunshine paper from the designer series paper. And this is from the designer series paper as well. I just simply cut out that rainbow. Now this is the same one that, let me try to find that other card that I had here. This rainbow that I cut the outline of it from the designer series paper is the same rainbow that I used here, where I used the template idea of spacing them exactly right. So they are aligned just like they are on this paper here. So that is that card in here. Hopefully you can see again. I don't know how well you can see it on the video. These are the polished dots embellishments on there to just give it another little bit of a shine. And of course there is a coordinating envelope for that one. And then finally I have this card, which I absolutely love. This dot paper is from the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, and then I punched out some balloons using the balloon punch, using coordinating colors. But what I really like about this, on this sentiment again, is from that Special Moments Sale-a-bration set that was cut out using the stitched rectangle dies. But what I really like about this card is the card base. I don't know if you noticed, this is from the Scallop Contours dies. It's the largest die from that die set, but that makes a fun shaped card, not just your regular rectangle card. But isn't that fun? I love that. So that is another really fun card. And then I use the polka dots on the envelope for that. So I hope that you found this video helpful on how to use a template to place your cutout images exactly where you want them. And like I said, you can use this idea with any die that you have in your collection where you need precise placement like that. So, and I hope that you just love, or you see why I just love this designer series paper. It's just so much fun, so colorful and so fun, and especially using with that cloud punch. And you saw that I used the clouds on a lot of other cards. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope that you found this video helpful. I will provide links in the video description to all of the products that I used on these cards. And I hope you have a great time having fun with this designer series paper, this fun Sunshine and Rainbows designer series paper. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.